no, it can't be. It's not positive. I'm not pregnant. Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. So you guys already know, once y'all see this background, it's about to be a story time. So today I'm gonna be telling y'all the story of how I found out I was pregnant. Let's get right into it. So around November of 2015, I was expecting for my menstrual cycle to come. So I'm like experiencing like what I'm thinking is PMS symptoms. Like my boobs were sore, like I was tired. Like that's how I usually am when I get my period. So I'm thinking that my period is about to come. First thing that I realized was that my boobs got really hard, like rock hard. So one time I was laying with the father of my child, and he was like, why your boobs feel like that? And I'm like, I don't know, maybe because I'm about to get my period or whatever. So I didn't think nothing of it. Like, I'm thinking all of this is happening because I'm about to get my period. So the next thing that started happening was I was getting really, really bad cramps, like terrible cramps, like to the point I was crying and everything. So I'm at my daughter's father's house, and it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. I wake up out of my sleep with terrible cramps, like the worst cramps I ever got in my life. And I'm like, why my cramps feel like this? Like, why am I in so much pain? So his mom gave me what did she give me? I think she gave me like Excedrin or some type of Advil, ibuprofen or something, and the pain went away a little bit or whatever. So I'm thinking, okay, my period is definitely about to come because I'm getting cramps, my boobs is feeling crazy. Like, this is all signs that my period is about to come. Time goes on and no period comes. So now my mom is catching on. She's like, because me and my mom's cycles are right after each other. So my mom was like, Deja, did you get your period? And I'm like, yeah. I'm lying. Like, my period did not come. I made her think I lied, and I said I was on my period. I was opening wrappers and throwing them in the garbage to make it look like I had my period. She started noticing things that I didn't even notice. Like, my mom pays attention to everything with her kids, and she knows her kids very well. So she knew that I was pregnant before I knew I was pregnant. Like, she really knew before I knew. She was like, oh, your thighs is getting wide or whatever. And just like, you know, hinting on like, was like, you look like you changing. Like, why you changing? At that point, I was 18. So I got pregnant while I was 18. And I found out on my 19th birthday. So in November of 2015, I was already pregnant. And I was turning 19 in December. So December comes, and me, my brother, his girlfriend at the time, my daughter's father, and we all decided to move to North Carolina. So we drove to North Carolina. My dad drove us down there. My brother and his girlfriend at the time were already living down there, and we all got one nice big apartment. So my brother and his girlfriend were already down there, and then me and my daughter's father moved down there a couple days before my birthday. And my parents and my little brothers, they all stayed with us for a few days or whatever until my birthday came. So when we get to North Carolina, I'm in my room, me and my mom moving stuff in or whatever. So at this point, my mom is already suspecting that I'm pregnant. So she's like, Deja, you need to take a pregnancy test because you're moving to another state. I'm not going to be here with you. You're going to be here with your brother, and that's the only family that you have out here. So you need to take a pregnancy test right now to find out what's going on. So I'm like, I didn't want to take a pregnancy test. Like, I did not want to see a positive pregnancy test at this time. That night, I had got really bad cramps again. And this time I started throwing up. Like, this was, I threw up 3 times throughout my whole pregnancy. This was the first time that I threw up. So I'm throwing up, and I'm the type of person that when I throw up, I cry. I hate throwing up. Like, I hate it. It's so disgusting to me. It hurts. Feel like I'm dying. Like, I hate throwing up. So I'm throwing up, and my mom comes in the bathroom with me. I'm crying. I'm like, Mommy, I can't do this. She's like, you can't do what? And I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do this. Like, that confirmed to me that I was pregnant, but I was still in denial. I was in denial about being pregnant for a few weeks. The next day, my parents and my little brothers left to go back home. And me and my brother and his girlfriend at the time and my daughter's father, we were all shopping or whatever, and we bought a pregnancy test. So I take the pregnancy test. I pee on the stick or whatever, leave it in the bathroom for however long we're supposed to leave it in the bathroom. Come back, and I'm like, I look at the pregnancy test. I'm like, this is negative. So I go tell my daughter's father that the pregnancy test is negative. And his initial reaction was, which was so weird to me, he sucked his teeth. Like, he was really like that was his reaction when I told him that the pregnancy test was negative. So then my brother was sleeping, and I woke him up out of his sleep, and I'm like, bro, the pregnancy test is negative. So he had the same exact reaction. That was so weird to me because I told them at 2 separate times, and they both had the same reaction. They both just sucked their teeth. Like, I'm like, do y'all want me to be pregnant? Like, because I don't want to be pregnant. Do y'all want me to be pregnant? So I call my mom, and I'm like, Mom, the pregnancy test is negative. She's like, that's wrong. Take another one because I know you're pregnant. I'm like, Mom, it says it's negative. She's like, take another one because you're pregnant. Later on in the day, my brother woke up. He's like, Dej, you say your pregnancy test is negative? I was like, yeah. He was like, let me see. So I gave him the pregnancy test. He looks at the pregnancy test, and then he's like, this is positive. I'm like, no, it's not. He's like, Deja, this pregnancy test is positive. Like, what? Like, I'm not pregnant. Like, y'all lying to me. This pregnancy test is lying. Y'all lying. I'm not pregnant. So, mind you, this is on my birthday. Like, that I'm finding out that I'm pregnant. On my 19th birthday. What I did for my 19th birthday was find out that I was pregnant. So I'm like, no way. Like, I'm not pregnant. This is not happening. The test said positive, clear as day, but I was just in denial. I was like, this is negative. Like, this is not a positive pregnancy test in my hand that I just peed on. Like, this is not mine. I'm not pregnant. Like, I was in denial for so long, and 9 months later, labor and delivery. That's a whole nother story that I don't even know if I want to talk about because I get very emotional talking about my labor and delivery with my daughter because it was very hard. So I don't know if I'm gonna talk about that on here, maybe one day, but that's a whole nother story. So I was in denial for a while when I found out I was pregnant, but once I got, accustomed to it, I was happy. My daughter's father was happy. We never thought about an abortion or none of that. Like, we agreed that we was gonna have the baby. Like, it was none of that. Oh, he don't want it, I don't want it. It was none of that. We both decided that we were gonna be parents. And yeah, Mom, she wasn't mad because she's like, okay, you graduated high school, you just moved into your own apartment. Like, what can I say? Like, you're 19, you're grown. You're still young, but you're grown. But hey, it happens. My dad, I don't even know how he reacted because they were in New York and I was in North Carolina, and I wasn't even able to be the one to tell him because my mom to my uncle to my aunt called my dad. It was like, Deja's pregnant? He had no idea, and it was just, I don't know how my dad reacted. I think he might have been mad for some time because I didn't speak to him right away after he found out. I got pregnant at 18, found out at 19, and had my daughter at 19, and turned 20 a couple months later. So I don't really consider myself a teen mom because I turned 20 when my daughter was 4 months. So I never considered myself a teen mom. But yeah, that's how I found out I was pregnant. If you guys want to hear about the labor and delivery story, let me know in the comments, and I might give it to you guys, but it's crazy. It was a horrible, scary experience. Like, after I had my daughter, I was like, I'm never doing this again for nobody, like, ever. But 3 years later, it's like, I don't mind having another child now, because you forget about all the pain or whatever that you went through. You just love your child so much that it doesn't even matter. Like, my daughter is my entire heart, my world, my everything. Like, I got a picture of me and her right there, hanging over my bed. Like, that's my baby. Like, that's my heart. When I found out I was pregnant, I didn't tell nobody. Like, I told my friend Taylor. She was the first friend that I told. Yeah, I told my friend Taylor. She was the first person I told outside of my family. And I told my best friend Jada. Those were the two people that I told. And yeah, I was so low-key during my pregnancy. I was living in North Carolina, and I was going through a lot in the beginning, the first couple months of my pregnancy, and it was just a lot going on. I didn't have time to be on social media or none of that. Like, my mind was not on social media or none of that stuff at all. So very little people knew I was pregnant until my baby shower, around that time. But yeah, if y'all want to know more about my experience, the labor and delivery, let me know and I might tell you guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn on your post notifications, all that good stuff, and I will see you guys in the next video.